Hello, welcome back to Cup of Crone. I am your crone named Audrey, and this is my cup. We are honoring Captain America and America's ass, because believe me, it's gorgeous. Chris Evans, if you ever watched this, I'm a huge fan. I heard you're a really great guy. My husband's a huge fan of yours. So, today we're going to be talking about another one of my Patreonesses. And we're going to, but a couple of updates first. So I'm going to have a witches review about something that I really find really cool, that really unites technology and magic together. And it should be coming today in the mail from Amazon. So I was watching Big Bang Theory, and I was like, I've been debating about getting one for years. I was like, you know what? I'll get it. So I got it. So that's how that went. Also, a couple things here. Something's really cool that I really love about El Paso is that if you know anything about geography, is that El Paso is at that little sliver of Texas where it's like 20 miles away from New Mexico and a mile away from the border. So we have a lot of enrichment and wonderful Hispanic culture here. It's absolutely amazing. I love being a part of it and learning more about it. The festival they have is the Day of the Dead Festival, which is, of course, it's Dias de Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, which is Samhain or Halloween. And then you get to see a lot of that, which is going to go on here. And I'm going to give y'all an update about the festival. And also, it's going to be a part of my Cup of the Crone when it comes over Pantheons. So give y'all a heads up about that. And I'm really excited about that. But I want to do it closer towards the holiday and the festival. Just so I can tell you guys the enrichment that I've learned here. Thank you guys for being so understanding when it comes to the move and setting things up. I've had a bunch of DMs be like, hey, how's it going? Or hey, how's everything going? Like with unpacking. As you can tell, there's still some unpacking that needs to be done because my some things have not been quite up to par yet. I haven't been able to really set everything up and get everything organized. I got the living room mostly done. I got the dining room mostly done. The kitchen is completely done. Thank you, Melissa. And and with the help of a really good friend of mine that came with me, she was able to help me kind of get everything mostly unpacked. When she left, we had about 25 boxes left, maybe 20 boxes left, but now we're down to like 5 or 6. Too bad they're mostly my studio boxes. Yeah. So with that going on, I'm really kind of focusing on this room and getting back to a normal schedule. So thank you guys so much for being super supportive. Now, as you can tell, I'm wearing a necklace, and it has a raven on it, and a moon. So most of y'all would have guessed that today we're going to study the goddess and queen of Asgard, Freyja. Isn't she pretty? The kitty, her shield, her sexy pose, the hair. Look at the hair, all the wave. And to quote, and if y'all know anything about me, I have the table that, yes, the camera is sitting on is a table of the moon phases, and it says, if you can't lay 'em, slay 'em. Love Freyja. So if you don't know, she is actually one of my favorite goddesses. That's one of the reasons she's one of my patronesses. How me and Freyja came to connect was, I've always kind of loved cats, and as over the course of the past, before me and my husband got reunited, I had a couple of different cats, and because I moved, I only could keep 2 animals. Of course, one of them was going to be Xerxes, a little white wolf, who really is as ferocious as a bunny. So there's him, and then I decided to keep Azrael, which really she's a cat that chose me in the middle of the rain. She was on a car engine, and she was this big. So, she was mine. And I'll tell that story later when we talk about familiars. But Freyja is the goddess of Asgard. It's really kind of weird that I'm sitting here talking about Freyja because I just saw a bunch of ravens fly that way. And they were in pairs of twos, which I find absolutely fascinating. So I thought that was kind of crazy too. That's why I just stopped mid thing. I don't want y'all to think I was crazy. But yeah, that's cool. Because you don't really see a lot of ravens in the desert. So Freyja is the queen of Asgard. She is the wife of Odin, twin and sister of Freyr, Freyr. Now, when people see the image of Freyja, they see her in these very Valkyrie-esque, very decorated. Like, if you look at her, this is one of her main depictions with all the swirls because they mean different things. She's the goddess of love, fertility, battle, death, magic, sex. She is, when it comes to powers and intentions, she is the goddess of beauty, beginnings, clairvoyance, death, divination, enchantment. She is, in the Norse mythology, she's just basically the mother of magic and sex and battle. It's a lot on the plate. Fertility, freedom, guardian, guidance, healing, learning, longevity, lust, magic, love, general animal magic, moon magic, sex magic, marriage, passion, pregnancy, childbirth, prophecy, prosperity, sensuality, sex, and sexuality, shamanic work, skills, travel, wealth, witches, witchcraft, youth. And so basically in Norse mythology, what happened is they took Athena, they took Ares, and they took Hecate and Aphrodite and made them into this one amazing goddess. And no wonder why she came from the Vanir tribe, which is, if you know anything about Norse mythology, there are 9 realms, and that's one realm. She came from the Vanir tribe, which is basically the magic tribe. And she married Odin and became the queen of Asgard. Now, there are plenty of stories about how she's bloodthirsty and how she conquers and her connections to the Valkyrie, and she's amazing. And then she also rules over Fafnir. I'm not sure if I'm saying any of this right. My Norse is really, 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 really bad. If you want to talk good Norse, talk to my husband. But anyway, Freyja, and to work with her, because something a lot of people don't realize when it comes to pantheons and witches, we don't bend the knee to our gods. We don't. We're not servants to them. We're more like children, friends. We seek their guidance and their care. It's not like Christianity where our gods are like, this is my rule, this is my law, and you have to submit by it or you die or you get damned to hell. That's not the way it is with witchcraft and our patrons or patronesses. They teach, they guide, and they let us make our own decisions, which is something that you definitely see if you ever work with Freyja. Freyja is definitely a mother. Her and Odin's relationship is extremely strong. When Odin goes for his 100-year sleep, she rules over Asgard. Instead of it passing to one of his sons, she takes over, which you don't see that a lot. One of the things I love about Norse is that the women are highly respected, is that they think women are naturally magical, so they have great respect for them. They more attuned, as men are more attuned to the physical world, women are more attuned to the spiritual world, and that's what makes us, that's what they believe, and that they hold. You have to realize, when a woman speaks in this culture, she comes from a place of wisdom, and that's because Freyja plays such a huge part in mythology, and it gets shown in the culture, which I thought was really cool. My husband is actually Norse. He is a heathen. And when people are like, oh, the Vikings, the Viking term did not come around until the 1900s. People of the Norse just call themselves Norsemen. So just a tip there. Freyja is a protector of cats. She is the protector of, there was a reason why I wanted to do today, Friday, because this is actually her day. There is a lot of, if you look at Norse mythology, you realize that Freyja is not actually her name. It's actually a title, means lady. And a lot of people, because there's a lot of similarities between Freyja and Frigga, they think that it's one person. It's just two different sides of the same person and different stories. Because you'll realize there's a lot of similarities between the two. What I come to experience is that they're the same. For me, Frigga is what she was called before she became a woman and had children, and Freyja is what she's called as queen and a mature woman. In my personal experience, from what I've gone through and been revealed to me through astral protection. Things that are sacred to this beautiful goddess: strawberries, roses, primroses, daisies. She's a protector of spiders, doves, falcons, ravens. One reason why I wore my raven necklace. Cats, boars, goats, hares, lynxes, pig, spiders, mistletoe. Her element is fire. I'm sitting there, if you want to follow along with me. My correspondence book, of course, you know I live by this thing. Freyja is a goddess that I would as a woman. She's definitely a powerhouse goddess. And she's the kind of goddess that will stay in your corner, teach you how to be fierce in more ways than one. One of the things I love about Freyja and Odin's relationship is that Freyja, as a fertility god, she has many other lovers, including her twin brother. We're going to overlook the Lannister comment. And that Odin doesn't care. And one thing about Odin and her relationship is that they understand each other, they embrace each other, and they love each other. And he accepts her as a force to be reckoned with on her own right. Freyja is not one of those queens that will step back and wait for the fight to end. She's the one that will be leading the front lines with her husband. Her and are extremely great partners. She rules over a land by herself. She's a queen within her own right. She is the master of magic, and she she's a lot to ingest. She is a goddess that will really put you to your knees. And not in a worship way, but just because she is so much. And we'll get more into the Norse mythology, because I'll have a couple of Crones that just goes over different pantheons and how different, it goes over like snippets of different gods and stuff after this. And believe me, the way you see Freyja is played in Norse mythology is absolutely beautiful. And yes, it's a lot. Sorry guys, I kind of got a little ADHD here. I apologize. But that is a couple quick things about Freyja and her correspondences. But we'll get into more stories of mythology on another day. My advice is to research about different gods on your own, because then we'll get to her. Because then it'll make more sense. But we will be getting into our male patrons in the next couple of days. I'm going to take the weekend to try to figure out and clean everything up. It's funny because my husband was like, you just did a witch talk about like self-care, and you've been not self-caring lately, especially because of this move. So I've been mandated from the man himself to take this weekend to relax and chill, which I am. So I'll be dropping that article on safe travel and travel magic, or traveling as a witch. Today I just found my book of shadows, and I'm putting my traveling satchel into it for you guys. Thank you guys so much for staying with me and coming for my tangents and dealing with my ADHD, because I'm trying to find my medicine too. Moving is a pain in the tail, but that's from me to you. So thank you guys so much for being with me. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be my talkers.